Hello everybody. On this day in 1898, the artist Escher was born, well known for his prints, a Dutch artist, and particularly for his rather bizarre conceptual and visual effects. He had an ability to make things seem unsettled and not how you'd expect them. Some of his pictures, for example, show the same thing happening from a number of different angles. So you see it from all the different angles at once. Very confusing. There are others which, often connected with a building, show something happening which is mathematically, physically impossible. But the way he's drawn it makes it look real, although you know it couldn't be. And then there were his paintings in his Metamorphosis series, where the picture starts off being about one thing and ends up being another, like this one starting off being a bird and ending up being a fish. I don't think any of us in this COVID era need an artist to remind us of how uncertain life is. But I think it's always worth reminding ourselves that nothing is set in stone, and the things that we rely on, the things that make us feel safe, are not always as secure as we would like them to be. All sorts of things can happen to us that disturb our equilibrium. There's an old hymn, "Will your anchor hold in the storm of life?" And it's a good question. What would we hold on to? What gives us a sense of having some secure basis to our lives, if everything around us seems to be falling apart? And I was thinking today not just about Escher and his paintings, his prints, but also the fact that this is Refugee Week, and trying to imagine, although it's extremely difficult, isn't it, just what it must be like to be a refugee, when all the things about you that you've relied on, all the things that are familiar, you leave them behind, because so desperate is your need for safety, whether it's economic or political, that you're willing to scrap all that and risk something completely new and often a very treacherous and dangerous journey to a new place. It's inconceivable to me, really, to imagine. I can't imagine what that must be like, and I expect you're the same. But it's worth just today, as we think about refugees and how many millions of them there are in the world, how fortunate we are to have things that we can rely on. It might be our family, it might be our home, it might be our work, all things which aren't absolutely solid, but are for us in the West often pretty reliable, unless some particular tragedy strikes or some economic blizzard blows our way. And I think we just need to be really grateful for that. And if we're Christians, of course, the answer to the question, will your anchor hold in the storms of life, in that hymn is, yes, it will, if your anchor is secured fast to the rock, which is God. And certainly for those of us who trust God, there is this sense that in him even death cannot separate us from his love, and there is always that ultimate security, whatever else may happen to us, in knowing that we're safe within his love and within his care, both on this side of death and the other. But whatever it is that enables us to feel safe today, let's just celebrate it and be grateful.